Hey guys, Marsengin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be taking a look at the Super Saiyan 3 XENO Goku with his EZA versus Cell Max. I talked about this guy quite a lot before the Hero Celebration came out, because obviously the hopes were that his EZA would make him one of the best EZA TURs in the game. I'm not sure if he's quite there, but they definitely did a good job. He greatly raises attack for one turn and does immense damage with his super attack. He has a great chance to stun. I believe that was only high before. And then basically they've given him, he gets an extra 15% damage reduction for 3 turns from the start of the turn. And he always gets that, so that's not reliant on the allies. So that is actually pretty useful for other team builds. He gets attack and defense 150%. He guards all attacks. He gets an extra 50% attack and defense when performing a super. And then he gets 20% defense up to 100 and 7% damage reduction up to 35% per Dragon Ball Heroes ally on the team. So obviously that was one of the things that we kind of hoped that they would do for some of these Heroes units, is add a new category to some of their restrictions. But obviously they didn't do that with this Goku. So you do need to run Dragon Ball Heroes allies around him in order for him to get more damage reduction. He does count, obviously, as one of the Heroes units, so he's going to always have 7% damage reduction and an extra 20% defense, but you ideally want to run him around other Heroes units to get that full potential. But having that extra 15% for the first couple of turns is obviously going to be helpful. Well, I literally can't get a super attack with him unless I do this, but I want Gohan on the other rotation. Well, I guess it's not really important to super attack with him. He doesn't stack up or anything. So the only thing I can say, like, obviously aside from changing the restriction in his passive, so it's not just for Heroes allies, I would have liked to see him get Grady raises attack and defense on super, because I feel like that would essentially make it so that post super attack he just literally tanks everything in the game. But it would also help for those team builds where he doesn't have a ton of Heroes allies, so he's getting less damage reduction and less defense from his passive. So, you know, you could get a bit more defense post super attack without having to run him on a full Heroes team, because he did actually have a 200% lead already before the Heroes Celebration. He's actually on the LR Gods team, but their team is so stacked now with all the various different options that I feel like he probably doesn't even really get a space on that team. Because ideally, being a Super Saiyan 3 unit, if you want to maximize his performance, you obviously want to run him alongside another Super Saiyan 3 unit to pick up some of those links. Not that he desperately needs them, but obviously being an over in a flash unit, you know, sometimes he can struggle for ki, as we saw on that previous turn. If you just have him on rotation with units that have prepared for battle, then obviously he still needs 6 ki at the start of the turn to super attack. Ki in his passive would have been really good for him, especially considering he's missing out on prepared for battle. But obviously there are a few other good Super Saiyan 3 units. One of the things that I'm really looking forward to for the future is, of course, the EZA for LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Because back in the day, these two made an awesome rotation, because you could just put XENO Goku in slot 1, put LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku in slot 2, and then that rotation was like just ridiculously strong. I can bring the links up here, actually. I think they share, is it 5 or 6? Yeah, they share 5 links together. Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Limit Breaking Form, Over in a Flash, and Shattering the Limit, which obviously helps the LR to get the 18 key super. So definitely a very solid rotation. But you can see here, this is the major issue, like not being able to get ki unless you are running either a support unit or other units that have Shattering the Limit, which on some of these bigger teams, like again, going back to the LR Gods team that you can run him on for the 200% lead, there aren't really any other units that find themselves being top picks for that team that have Shattering the Limit. So managing his ki is obviously something that you have to think about, because in the harder events, we want him to super, so we get the additional 5.3 is actually not bad, considering on this rotation, I think he has like 2 links active. Let me see, can I find Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta on this list? Wow, he shares 2 links with Goku, so I'm assuming he probably only shares 1 link with Vegeta then, because they have a very similar link set. Yeah, he only shares Super Saiyan and Kamehameha with the Goku, and Vegeta obviously doesn't have Kamehameha, so not a great rotation for him in terms of links, and he still puts up a pretty reasonable attack stat considering how good he is defensively, which I'm perfectly fine with. Like, his units that can tank super attacks from the hardest bosses in the game, I'm not too fussed if they're not doing ridiculously high attack stats, but the fact that he can still do a pretty decent amount of damage is good. And then you think about for some of the harder events, things like Broly obviously can be stunned in the first stage, and this guy has the 70% chance to stun, which is very good. Obviously makes him very good for Super Battle Road as well, because getting the extra 15% damage reduction for 3 turns is pretty much going to cover the whole of the fight for most of the stages that you can run him on, because it's essentially his first 2 appearances, like, guaranteed. Unless you're floating him off on his first appearance, I guess, means he's going to have that extra damage reduction. So for Super Battle Road, that's obviously going to be very good, combined with his high chance to stun. So, well, great chance, as in 70% is high. Good old Dokkan with their high chance is 50%, great chance is 70%. Pretty useful. Obviously, as we get more of these bosses that can be stunned in the first stage, there's a pretty useful ability for him to have. So overall, I am pretty happy with his EZA. I haven't done a huge amount of testing of him on like the non-heroes team to see just how well his defense holds up against some of these harder bosses. So that is something that we'll definitely have to do in the coming days. Because being a Goku unit, obviously he's got like a ton of good categories and teams. I'm pretty sure he's on Bond of Parent and Child, since most Gokus past a certain point are. So that means he will, of course, yeah, he is. So he will be on the team for the upcoming LR Vegeta and Trunks, who are obviously going to release on Global in a couple of days' time. So he does make a somewhat decent option for that team. Obviously, that team, if you're just running double LR Vegeta and Trunks leads, you have your 2 slot 1 units anyway. But considering they are a Vegeta family unit, they can benefit from units like Xeno Vegeta being on the team. So that's going to help them out, like, and that of course helps him out having other heroes units to build up that extra part of his passive. So as usual, we get to sell Max with not the right rotation, because we have Goku on the previous turn. So let's see if we can actually survive 1 turn of Cell Max here, or whether we have to cut back. Because fortunately, with him not really needing any sort of build up or anything, there's no reason to stall to try and get to Cell Max. I just want to see how well he's going to tank. But unfortunately, since obviously we haven't been focusing on either of the Gokus, neither of them are built up at all, so it's very possible that they die here. It depends, I guess. I have had the odd occasion where we've done runs where he doesn't super, but I feel like super attack in the last slot might be coming. I didn't check the friend's hidden potential. Well, that is my one. So mine has 11 dodge. So he did not dodge, though. Alright, so we'll have to come back and see. Hopefully we can get a rotation where we actually get here. Ooh. Wow, Goku actually lived. I mean, he has type advantage, but that is no links active Goku post super attack, with no support on the rotation either. So no links, no support, and he survived the super attack from Cell Max. That's actually really good. Like, even though he is an int unit, that's actually quite impressive. I 100% assumed that we were dead then, so that's actually a pretty good performance there from Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker Goku. But yeah, so let's see. We got our boy on rotation with Super Saiyan 3 Gohan. So we have every single link active except Kamehameha and Golden Warrior. We're rocking 276k defense at the start of the turn. So remember, he's getting an extra 50% on super attack. So that's putting him over 400k. Which is why I say it would have been awesome if he raised defense on super as well. But 400k with 35% damage reduction and guard is pretty good. So let's see what happens here. Ideally, we don't get supered in slot 1. Although I would like to see how much he takes. He should survive it, but we'll see how much we take. Yeah, post. So he takes 2,000 damage from a normal attack. Yeah, see, I would hope that it would be double digits, but post super, it should now be. Yeah, so double digit damage. Is he going to super? No. Alright, so Super Saiyan 3 Gohan. I did a video of him before the Hero Celebration came out on the 200% leader skill. And he's pretty decent, but we need to see him taking a super from... We need to see Super Saiyan 3 Goku taking a super from Cell Max. So I didn't get the orbs for Gohan, so he's dead here. But yeah, let's see if we can get an actual turn where Goku gets super attacked by Cell Max. Preferably post his own super. Okay, so this has worked out somewhat perfectly because Goku actually started off in slot 7 on this run, which means his first appearance was on turn 3. And because of the way his passive works, he gets the extra damage reduction for 3 turns from the start of his first turn, which means that his damage reduction should still be active now. So this is kind of like the thing with the Gammas, where if you're able to get through to the last part fast enough, they still have the buffs from their entrance animation. Now, obviously, we have support from XENO Pan on the rotation, so 276k. We get to super attack first as well. So, out of all of these attacks in slot 1, come on, Cell, the number of times you take me out with a slot 1 super attack. Like, you got to super me in slot 1, come on. 6.6 mil on the attack stat, pretty good. And then, yeah, double digits. So here it comes. Here's the super attack. So how much do we take from this? 170k. So there you go. Type neutral with guard. Like I say, I'm fairly sure with the way the turn count works, that is him with the extra damage reduction. So it's 15% extra, which means he would survive the super attack even without that extra damage reduction active. Obviously, we would take more, because what was that, 160 odd? So he's taken, what, 200 and something off of that post-super. So pre-super, again, he probably still would survive. If you were on the turns where you still had the extra damage reduction active like we did there, then he definitely would survive it pre-super. So definitely very, very good. Let me know what you guys think about this Goku down below in the comment section. I feel like you can include him on so many of these teams. We will have to test him out without other Dragon Ball Heroes allies, but all of these teams that he's on, you can run other Dragon Ball Heroes units. So, like Super Saiyan 3 Bardock has his EZA on JP, meaning that the Super Saiyan 3 team is like somewhat runnable again. And because that has a lot of really good Super Saiyan 3 units, then obviously he's perfectly at home on that team. Time Travelers is most of the Heroes units are on there. Pure Saiyans, we have all the Xeno, Goku and Vegetas, the Brolys, I guess, although Super Saiyan 4 Broly's not very good. Dark Mask King, Black Mask Saiyan will EZA next year. Like, all of the teams that he's on, there are a ton of Dragon Ball Heroes characters. Not all of them have, like, must-run options, but some of them do. So, definitely very good. And this extra 3 turns thing, I definitely feel like they put that in place more so thinking about Super Battle Road, especially with his stun chance increasing to great chance. Because most of these difficult events, it's unlikely that you reach the final boss with Goku still having that extra damage reduction. But, as you can see here from this last clip, you are able to do it on Cell Max if he's in slot 7, and then, yeah, he just tanks ridiculously well. So, let me know what you guys think of Super Saiyan 3 XENO Goku. He's one of the top picks, I would say, for your Grey Stone, if you do choose to get them, if you don't have this guy. Obviously, like all the Heroes units, he's not as good at 55%, but he's definitely one of the better ones. Not just for overall performance, but also for the number of teams that he's on. So, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section of XENO Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I'm very happy with his EZA. Like I say, I don't think he quite achieved what I was hoping to just be, you know, the new best EZA TUR, but he's definitely on the board, I would say. Maybe I'll have to do a new tier list after all these Heroes units are now out, but let me know your thoughts down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.